again, you mentioned Mr. Eric Ranger is back there somewhere. Yes, he was a speaker at our cohort just ended. And believe it or not, he has a passion for RFPs like we do, and like procurement does. So he's even written a book, right, Mr. Ray? Yes. And we're giving a little gift item in our goodie bags relating to the book that he's written. So I'm going to turn it over now to, where is Mr. Mercius? Here he is, coming up. Mr. Mercius, he's the Executive Director of the CRA, and thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Ms. Pamela Toussaint, Mayor Douglas Lawson, Anita Jenkins, they've all already said everything that needs to be said about why we're here and what's about to happen. I don't need to add on to that. We're building, it's happening. We're looking forward to seeing you all here. One of the reasons why I believe in this program so much is because of the investment piece of it. You guys are investing your time. We're investing in you all. We believe that you all will come back tenfold and invest back into the community. As you guys look outside, I'm proud to say that there's cranes in the sky. There's actually things happening. We're moving through our procurement division, through our city manager, through his vision and the board's vision, the mayor's vision, Ms. Jenkins and staff's vision. There's things happening in the city, and we can feel it. It's palatable. Now we need the businesses, and this program is so essential because of that. A couple of months ago, we had somewhat of it was a business, I want to say somewhat of a platform like this, and I took a lot of those businesses and I wanted to make sure that at least I called at least 5 of them. And I said that their businesses impact me. I want to make sure that these businesses can be heard and we can find ways to go ahead and multiply what these businesses are and make sure that we develop some type of storefront, some type of activation. So we're working on that. I'm looking to activate and work with businesses as we speak. This is something that the CRA is looking forward to. Not only are we looking to develop, but we're looking to cultivate businesses, to groom these businesses, to grow these businesses. So I'm so looking forward to this opportunity, and thank you for investing in our city. Thank you for investing in Ms. Jenkins, in this program. Thank you to the procurement staff. Thank you to Ms. Pamela Toussaint and others that believe in this city. It takes a lot to believe in a city. And now we're seeing the fruits of the labor. So I'm so looking forward to seeing what's next. I know what's next. And it's going to be a space for each and every one of you if you all continue to work within the city CRA for a business storefront. And I'm so much, I'm looking forward, I'm ecstatic. I love these kind of activations and these programs because it gives us an opportunity to take a look at what's next beyond today. So with that, I appreciate you all. Thank you. Thank you to all the judges. Thank you to everyone in attendance today. And thank you to Ms. Pamela Toussaint. I appreciate it. Without any introduction needed, this man, me first coming in here in January, he took me aside and he gave me a list of documents, and he said, I think you need to know all these documents. It's like a 10-page document. It was the reimagined memo. I recite it, I look at it, I take a look at what it is. He's put me in certain rooms on what his vision looks like, what lessons he's learned through some of the board members, through the mayor. This man, I gotta tell you, man, been here for 8 going on 9 years as a city manager. That's a lot. That's something to say. So without, you want to say something? I do. Okay. I'm going to introduce Manager Evans, but before that, Mayor Lawson has something to say.
And I'm stealing the mic because I have to just give some accolades for our manager as well. I've had the distinct honor since becoming a new public, working as an elected official back in 2019. I managed Evans 2017, 2018. And I saw some of the vision and passion he had for the city. I saw the direction, the growth that he wanted to see the city. And we decided to connect in a fashion of elevating the city with professionalism, with respect, and decorum. The level of respect this man has for his board leadership, even when they don't return to the level of respect that he has to his community, even when it's not returned to him, the level of dedication that he has to the city of Riviera Beach is bar none. I can humbly say that when we agree, when we disagree, we're not disagreeing. We can have arguments, discussions, and debates, and do it with the utmost level of respect and passion for the city of Riviera Beach. That's what true business leadership looks like. That's what we try to teach the young people with our youth council. That's what I want every one of my board members and residents and shareholders in Riviera Beach to know. That this city manager has been passionate about Riviera Beach, about elevating the footprint and making sure that we've gone to new heights. And he's done that even when they haven't loved him back. So the fact that he's raising his little girl here, the fact that he's raising a family in this community, in the same community that tries to tear us down as leaders, as advocates, and doesn't realize the passion that we actually give, I have to commend that. And I have to say, it was pushed to say that this man needs to be honored and supported. So I know my director wants to introduce him, but I had to humbly say, if we can all give a round of applause for our keynote speaker. I'm glad that I'm committed to work with Smith and so passionate for the city of Riviera Beach.
Thank you. Certainly, you guys can introduce me anytime you want. Family functions everywhere. But give me. Okay, all right, I'll take care. All right, cash out. All right. So thank you all for being here with us this evening. This is certainly an exciting time for you, but more importantly, exciting time for your business. And I can tell you, it takes a lot for you to invest your time in learning the tricks of the trade, right? And so hopefully through this particular session, you've learned how to be in the room at the table to be able to benefit and grow your business. And one thing I think that's very important is your time, right? Your time is the only commodity we cannot give you more of. So this experience that we have today and that we share today, I cannot give you that time back. So it has to be worthwhile, it has to be fulfilling. And so as you grow your business and you grow the opportunities to see your families prosper because of a dream that maybe was cooked up at a kitchen table or at a family function, please note that continue to believe in yourself. Continue to believe in the inner child of you that thought, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and pursue this. Let me take the risk and jump in and start my own practice. The biggest transportation company, right? Uber doesn't even own one vehicle. They do not own one vehicle. Steve Jobs, when they were talking about the iPhone, they were saying, hey, you have to have a stylus. Everybody has a stylus. He said, you don't need a stylus. You've got 5 fingers. People take risk and take opportunities and take them to the next level. But it's those of you in this room that are going to transform not just Riviera Beach, but the U.S. economy. 70% of businesses in the U.S. are small businesses. And so we as government, we want to create the opportunity in the playing field for you to benefit from some of the investments that we make. And so I'm going to give you some of what I call the secret sauce to government. We as government, especially in the state of Florida, it's a very transparent state. We have to televise a lot of our moves and our actions. So before we build a fire station, it's 3 years that I'm telling you, I'm building a fire station, I'm building a fire station, I'm building a fire station. And then we build it. So as a local government, if you just attend those meetings, if you listen, if you sit in the audience, I will tell you, every city manager can tell you when somebody comes into the room, if it's the first time they've ever been there, if they're consultants, if they're going to cuss the city manager out at some point during the meeting, and if they genuinely have an interest in learning about the community that they want to conduct business with. And I'll give you this. As the manager, if I see faces that I'm not familiar with, I will observe and even take an opportunity to introduce myself. Because if they took it a point to be in the room, they obviously care about what we're talking about. But every city manager and every administrator and every department director cares about the services that they provide. So they're willing to share with you if you have questions about business. Every one of you provide a service, whether it's you are in the construction trade, or you sell t-shirts, or you make widgets. We as government consume everything that you provide, whether it's professional services, whether it's pens, whether it's t-shirts, whether it's coasters, whether it's highlighters. We're not just building buildings. We have workforces that we have to provide necessary supplies. So don't think that not asking the question or not having the discussion is, I just don't have the time to do that. Have those conversations. The great thing about, like I said, we televise everything we do. So we have these documents that you heard about, RFP, RFQ, ITN, all these solicitation documents. We send it out to you. We tell you, hey, you gotta have all this information. Well, guess what? You look at the document and the document may be overwhelming, time consuming. I just don't know where to start. Okay, maybe this is not the right time for your business. But I will tell you, and my procurement director will validate that, there's a lot of bids that if somebody took an extra 2 hours to complete the document, they would win the job. Irrespective of their experience, their bandwidth, and their capacity, if they meet the minimum specs and got caught trying, they will win an opportunity to do business with a government entity. The other side of it is, once you do business with a government entity once, nothing is more reassuring to another government entity that, oh, you got past the county's procurement process, you got past West Palm Beach procurement process, easy. I can call up West Palm and say, hey, you got a contract for widgets. Can I piggyback, or can I cooperative purchasing? Can I utilize that document? And I can take that document, and if you honor those prices that you gave to West Palm, if you honor the same prices and I'm buying the same thing, I go straight to the city council for authorization. I don't have to spin up this whole procurement process, especially if you're local. West Palm wants to see you win, the county wants to see you win, Riviera Beach wants to see you win, because we want to make sure that we keep those dollars in the community. So a lot of things you just have to get caught trying. Let's say you try and you fail. It's unfortunate, but there's a learning opportunity that is so profound that you may take it for granted. Like I said, we televise everything we do. So when somebody wins, Jonathan wins the bid. The next day, after Jonathan gets the contract, you can call any procurement department in the 420 municipalities in the state of Florida, and you can get every document I submitted to win. Every document. You can see what my proposal is, you can see who my team is, you can see what made us rank higher. You can look at what the people said about your business, why you didn't score as high as other businesses, and you can look at the terms and conditions of the contract. So if my contract is only for a 3-year period, you know, tell your Siri, hey, remind me in 2.5 years that this contract is up for expiration, and be prepared for that other opportunity. So there are so many things just by learning the nomenclatures and the things that we do in the language that will open up doors for you tremendously. There is, like I said, there is not a business that you provide or a service that you provide that we do not consume. We are a $247 million municipal corporation. Set aside payroll of about $50 million. The rest of that money is intended to circulate in the economy. I want to make sure, our procurement team wants to make sure, our elected officials want to make sure we make the investments in the community, because we're not fools. If we invest in your small business that's in our community, you're going to say, I need to hire more people. I need to buy another machine. I need to expand my footprint. That's tax revenue that we're going to see and we're going to benefit from as your business grows and develops. So it really is a matter of paying attention and going to rooms and council meetings and board meetings all across. The school board is a well over $5 billion operation with 25 plus thousand in the county, another $5+ billion operation. All these other cities throughout Palm Beach County, we have 39 municipalities. There's a city council meeting, there's a public procurement process that is happening right now for a service you provide and you're not at the table. And you could literally find all this information out by sitting on your living room and just searching around on the internet. BidNet, DemandStar, all those things push bids and solicitations right to you in the comfort of your own home. Find out what is the cone of silence, right? The cone of silence is there's a certain time in every procurement process where you can't have conversations with the people that are involved in the procurement process. You can always have a conversation with procurement. In most cases, you can always ask them questions, but go to find out a little bit about the service or why the board is looking for this service or when are they putting this out or what the last proposal is. I'm saying all these things because if you win in this room, Riviera Beach wins. If Riviera Beach wins, West Palm Beach wins. Palm Beach County wins. The state of Florida wins. People, there are so many opportunities that we have to go back out and back out and back out. I can tell you there's solicitations some 3 or 4 times just because somebody doesn't have the right insurance. They don't know what paperwork to fill out. And I've got people that if you picked up the phone and made a call, you can get those answers. And so you've learned some of the things associated with this program that are going to provide you what is that seat at the table. But I'm trying to tell you, you can need to bring your own table. And those are the secret things that you need to do. Go and have conversations with municipal managers, department directors. If you provide a service, sit down and have that conversation. Ms. Jenkins will attest to you. I called her for probably one of the weirdest public, I don't want to say procurement, but probably small business opportunity. A gentleman calls me and he's been having conversations and he's like, Mr. Evans, I want to sit down with you. I want to pitch this business idea. And I'm like, okay, great. And he sits down with me and I'm like, he sends me the pitch and I'm like, I don't think I'm your target demographics because it's female feminine products, right, that have to do with the menstrual cycle, right? So I really can't relate. However, I said, you know what? We're going to sit down and have a conversation. So early in the morning, I send Miss Jenkins an invite with no details in it. And I said, I need you to help me out with this one. And we literally talked to the gentleman, well, where did you get the item from? Do you have a business plan? Have you gone through this? These are the things you need to do. That is well outside of our scope and responsibilities as it relates to government officials. But if that particular gentleman wins and is able to create a business opportunity that can grow generational wealth for him, it's all worth it. And so don't think a small idea or concept is not worth having a conversation with the manager or having a conversations with the department director or going to tell, at a city council meeting, hey, I'm local, I have a small business, I'm doing this, that, and the other. I'd love the opportunity to do business with you or the city, especially if you live in that community or you're from that community. That resonates with all the policymakers that are up there making a decision, that if you have a small business in their community, they know you are paying taxes, 1, but 2, you're likely a registered voter, right? Yeah. And elected officials count votes, right? And so that opportunity to say, hey, we took a chance and we took a risk on this small business in our city because all of us want to see investments in our own community. We want to see dollars circulating in our community. So it's important that you take the step to establish those relationships, go to those city council meetings, go to those advisory board meetings, find out what the city is doing. In our budget documents, we tell you how much money we're going to set aside for this. In the transmittal memo, the manager says all the things that we're going to spend. We have, as Ms. Jenkins told you, we have a lot of housing and redevelopment projects that are going on. If you're in any of those trades, there's things that are happening. Last night, the board just authorized roughly about $500 million in public-private construction that will be facilitated through arrangements with this company. Those people do have contractual relationships with everybody, but there is no conceivable way that they have their entire team built. So you saw last night that the city council selected Sonnenblick to get into negotiations. So if I'm a small business in Palm Beach County, I'm gonna be calling up Bob Sonnenblick and say, hey, congratulations on receiving that solicitation. I have a company that is a small business in Riviera Beach, and we want to be part of the team as we reimagine Riviera Beach. What he's gonna think is, okay, let me see what they provide, and if I can get into terms with them, when I go before the city council, I get to say, look at all these local businesses that are part of my team that we're looking to bring to develop their community. And so there's so many things that's just out there at your fingertips that you just may not be aware of, may not know where to search for it. But this is such a great opportunity in the business space. You can see from Riviera Beach all the way to West Palm Beach, and if you go past Riviera Beach, there's cranes and economic development revitalization that's happening. The secret is out. Palm Beach County has marketed us all as, Wall Street South. As the weather gets more inclement in the Northeast, and especially if property tax reform happens in one form or one fashion, and I won't get into politics about that, but people are relocating to the state of Florida, and they are doing it at historic numbers. There is opportunities that are at your fingertips. It's just merely paying attention and asking the question. So if there's anything that you've gotten out of my comments and my remarks, is people want to see you win. The roadmap is there. There's no real secret sauce. We just have to know who you are, what you do, and what you can provide. It's really as simplistic as that. There's nothing that's, special. Relationships do matter, but performance, quality, and also somebody's stick-to-itiveness. I can tell you there's many people that have gone through procurement processes, and finally at the end, they end up getting it. Maybe two or three iterations. But the procurement officials and they staff, they know. They understand if somebody's making a mistake, if it's minor irregularity or major irregularity. There's ways for things to be corrected and cured, but you have to be in it to win it. You have to go through the process. And so please, do not leave here and think, well, I only do t-shirts. Right now, I got about 350 employees that wear t-shirts every day, 6 days a week. I need t-shirts, I need dry fit t-shirts, I need pens, I need markers, I need I need logo designs, I need party planners, I need caterers, I need, people that do AV work. You name it, a city has to have it. It has to have it. And if not, and I will tell you another thing, and then I'll let you go. I'll tell you another thing. We have, every city has, and I call it the money list. You can see all the people we have spent money with, all the vendors, all the contracts, how much we've spent, etc. You can look at that, right? But I will tell you, and procurement will attest to you, and we actually tell them we can't help you, but developers come in, and one of our local developers, Ezra Saffold, is in the building. So we will tell you that developers come in, like Ezra, and says, you know what? I need to get some local people to do some business. Jonathan, do you have anybody you can recommend? I can't recommend anybody for you, but you could pull who the city spends money with, and you can pull our business tax receipt of all our businesses in the city, and then they say, okay, and they grab that information, and then they'll call you. So if you're not in there, if you're not even a registered business, or you're not conducting some business, it doesn't matter what the numbers is, the amount, certainly give it a try. Make sure you're registered in the business. Make sure that you are looking at who is getting contracts, establishing those relationships, and then The last thing I'll tell you, and I promise I'll be quiet after this, is every city manager, some larger than others, all have an opportunity for discretionary, not discretionary, but the ability to enter into contracts, right? Over a certain amount, under a certain amount, over a certain amount, depends on, and procurement I hear is cringing, right? Because, but if there's a thing and you say, listen, I'm an environmental engineer, and I can say, you know what? You're an environmental engineer. I want to do an environmental engineering study on the effects of, shading in the Lake Worth Lagoon. I need somebody to do it under my purchasing authority to be able to share that with my board. We can enter into a contractual relationship, and you are a sole source provider or a single source provider, and you check a couple of boxes. We get into a professional services agreement. I can have you working within 7 days with a government contract that you can say to another city that says, hey, I did this, and Riviera Beach did this study. You probably should do it because this was the information that we were able to find out as it relates to impacting their community. Some cities have upwards, I don't want to be caught on camera saying this, but I think Palm Beach Garden City Manager has like up to $300,000 or some number like that. But mine is $25,000. So if there is services or things that are needed, we can enter into a relationship where I can say, hey, if procurement signs off and legal signs off and it's a bona fide need for the city, we can enter into a service contract that it may be the first time that your business gets a bona fide contract with the government just by having that relationship with the manager. So please don't be dismissive of the opportunity to have a conversation with the city manager or department directors and the like, because you may open a door that may create for a canyon effect with you partnering up with other business opportunities. So I say all that to close on this. The opportunity is now. Seize the moment. Don't walk away from a challenge. The roadmaps are there. Every business in the United States of America probably started at a kitchen table or in a garage or a driveway or two people walking down the road having a conversation. Do not diminish what you're trying to accomplish because of obstacles or challenges or circumstances. Remember, if you get burned, it's not the first idea, it's the last idea, and you've got to continue to invest your time, energy, and effort into your corporations that you're trying to build, because inevitably it will stick. And we want to see you win. We want to do business with you. We want to see you continue to grow, and more importantly, as small business growth and development happens in Riviera Beach in a way that's prosperous for our small business, it ends up impacting the city tremendously, and we're able to do a lot of great things for the community that we serve. So thank you so much for the opportunity to be here with you today. I believe in each and every one of you. Look forward to doing business with each and every one of you. Don't be scared to ask a question or an idea. And like I said earlier, with me and Ms. Jenkins having that conversation with that gentleman, we want to see businesses win at Riviera Beach. At the end of the day, I want to be able to see somebody on Shark Tank or see somebody that has used this opportunity, or on Oprah's 10 best things or something like that, so I can be able to say, hey, you remember when we had that awkward conversation in the conference room, Ms. Jenkins, where the gentleman wanted to give us a demonstration? We're like, no, we're good, thanks. So again, thank you for participating in our program. Thank you for being here this evening, and thank you for taking a risk on yourself and betting on yourself to start a small business in the greatest nation in the world, the US of A. So thank you.
Thank you.